Hello and welcome to Regulatory Solutions. We are providing 477 and BDC filing help for people who need it. Obviously, this is a new requirement, and there's a lot of data that goes into this and a lot of processing to get it right. And there's also a PE requirement that we can also fulfill. So with that, I'm going to try to make this video as quick as possible and just get through the basics. And then we will create a series of shorter videos for each section just to get some more detail. Anyway, how you start is getting to our regulatory-solutions.us site, and that will show you all the information you need here about what we do. If you want to look at our products, you can, of course. I'm just going to briefly go through these. So we have the 477 filing, which is just the basic 477 subscription deployment. We will review your OSS or billing subscription files. We will create a new deployment for you because most of those are not good. We also have the BDC preparation, which is prepping the data for you to file. And so we will do all the analysis and output the files and methodologies and do a PE certification and then return them all to you for you to file. But our best package is the works. So basically that includes all of this, 477, all of the BDC prep, and plus we file as much as we can on your behalf. There's a third-party filing interface that allows us to upload your data. I do believe you still have to file or create the filer info section yourself, but we can give you the output from our program for that as well. We also do state broadband filings. I know California and maybe a couple of other states do state broadband. Those are typically not due at the same time, but we can do those as well. And then we also have a BDC response retainer, which is a $25 a month plan that allows us to basically respond to any disputes you get and all of that. With the works, we do one follow-up response for free, but with the $25 per month, it will allow us to come back in and recertify everything if we need to. Also, we're doing an early bird special. If you sign up and get your data in before July 31st, we get $400 off, and we'll probably do this each round. So if this is going to be for December, obviously, if you get it in before January 31st, then we'll still do the same thing in January. So just wanted to let you know about that. So anyway, getting to the meat of it here, we also have some downloads you can get. So if you're not quite ready to sign up with us yet, but you think you will, and you want to get your data started, we have the site and AP templates. This will download a zip file that has the template files we need you to fill out and a set of instructions for those. And we also have our app user guide, and this will actually open it in it's a PDF file. And so if you look at this, you can see our user guide here and go through that. We won't waste time with that right now. We also have some instructions for how to get your BDC Fabric files, which you will need if you're using our system. This basically is just copied from their email that they sent out. We do have a link to their site that will allow you to go and get those Fabric files and get some more information on that. You will need those for us to provide service to you. So we're going to go back now. And you can, of course, contact us and read a little bit more about us if you want to. So let's get into the program. If you want to do sign up or log on. So it brings you to our login screen. If you don't have an account, click register. And the register will take you to our registration page. And basically, you just fill out this form. It's pretty simple: name, address, phone number, email, password. And we have some people out there referring services for us. And so if they gave you a referral code, you would enter that here. Or if you don't have one, you just type none. And then you can agree to our terms and conditions. You can go and read these if you want to. It's rather long, but we do advise you to go through that and read them if you want to be, I guess, legally correct. So I won't waste time with filling out this. It's pretty obvious what you do. We'll just go ahead and log in. And I will just put in something here. Okay, and we will put in a password. And we're going to log in. And if you have not chosen a package yet, if you haven't actually done this before, you will be taken to this page, and it will ask you if you want to, or basically ask you which packages you want to select. So you just go through these. You can read. These are the same descriptions we had on the main webpage. The works package is right in the middle, makes it easy for you. If you want the BDC insurance as well for the $25 a month, you can select that. You're going to select your filing end date, filing period to end date. Obviously, we only have one right now because this is the first one we're doing. And it tells you as well, reminds you about the code for the $400 off. So once you do this, here's your total. It's going to give you, you hit checkout. And once again, this is going to take you to a Stripe checkout page. And this is where you would put your promotional code. So we're just going to type July and apply. Make sure you apply it. And now you see that it's down to 1320 here. So obviously you know what to do here. You fill out your credit card information and you subscribe. And it may say pay. If you didn't select the $25 a month plan, it's different if you have a subscription plan versus just a straight payment plan, one-time payment. So that's just a Stripe thing. But anyway, basically you would click this button when you're done. And when you're done, it will take you back to the dashboard. Actually, it's going to take you to a success page, which will also redirect you back to the application. So so I don't have to put any information in here. I'm just going to get us back to the dashboard. Okay, so once you get back to our site, and it may ask you to relog in, but if it doesn't, it might take you just straight here. If it asks you to relog in, obviously you just put in your login credentials, and now you're at our dashboard. So what the dashboard shows, there will be more sections that show up depending on how you start filling data out. But basically it's going to show you if you have information uploaded or not. If you see something yellow here, this is actually a mistake that we need to correct. But if you see something yellow here, because we don't have anything uploaded, but this indicates that you have uploaded something, but you haven't finished it yet. So there are checkboxes in the sections that we'll go through in just a moment. So the first thing you want to do is fill out your filer information. This section shows us our filer data. This is basically the technologies, just like on your 477 that you fill out. So you will check which ones of these that you want. If you are using CN Heat and you're using one of their polygons and you have their polygons, we can import those, and it actually makes things go quite a bit quicker for us. So if you're a user of CN Heat and you have those, please check this box. If you're using a billing or OSS system from, say, Sonar or Visp or PowerCode or one of the others that generates the subscription or the 477 data, you check this box, and that will tell us that you need to upload your subscription file to us. Again, we're going to recreate your deployment file because most of those are not adequate. So if you're filing a voice subscription file, please check here, and that will actually open up a new set of information down here for your 499 filer ID and your study area code. If you're not, just don't check that. Allow my data to be shared with a third party. So there are some financial institutions out there that require you to be in compliance with all federal and state agencies. And this makes it very easy for that to happen. So if you check this box, you can put in an email for your banker or whoever is responsible, compliance officer, or something like that. You can put in that email, and we will notify them when we file that your file has been accepted. So that's just a little bonus add here. And if you're a government entity, you can check this box, and then it will ask you what kind of entity you are. So that it makes a difference. I don't think there will be a lot of these, but there may. Obviously, you fill out your brand name, your holding company, your website URL, if you have a study area code, and then your filing contacts. So there's some drop downs here for filing contacts. When you first come in, obviously there's not going to be any contacts because you haven't created any yet. So if you want to add a new contact, you would say add new contact. You would put their name in here, and their title, their email, their phone, extension if they have it, submit, and then it will show up in these drop downs. You may have to click twice. Let me just put something in here, and we will say CEO. And phone number, we'll just create something. And we won't do an extension. So if you submit this, now, if you for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but sometimes you have to click a couple times, and maybe it's waiting to come in. But you can put in those contacts, and if you have different ones, obviously you want to put in the ones that are different for these. So the data contact would be whoever's responsible for collecting data at your company, and then your certifying contact, of course, would be your engineering officer, whoever that may be, and then your emergency contact if they need to contact you in case of emergency. And then there's one other option here that we kind of skipped over, but if you have your own certifying engineer, so if you have they're granting a waiver for the PE requirement for the next 3 filings. And if you have a double E with 7 years of experience on staff who has direct knowledge of your network design, you can use him as a certifying engineer. You can also use another technical degreed person in your company who has at least 10 years, I think, of experience is what the requirement is. Anyway, if you have one that you believe meets that requirement, you can check this. And then, of course, you've got to create a contact for that person too. So just keep that in mind. This describes what we're talking about here as well. Any of these that have the little info box or little info will give you more information about what these mean. So obviously, we also need if we're going to file your FCC information for you, we need your FRN and then your CORS username and your CORS password to log into that system if you want us to actually do the filing. And then once you fill all this data out, you would save it. And so rather than fill out this form and waste time, I'm going to go ahead and log into another session that has one filled out, and then we will continue from there. Okay, so we've logged into another session with somebody else here that we're testing for. And if we just quickly go in here, you can see we have some things checked and we've filled out some information here. This is another weird quirk that we're working out, but these are filled in. You just have to kind of click in the form somewhere and then they show up. I'm not quite sure why, but we will work that little bug out. Anyway, just wanted to show you what that looks like. And you notice it because on this form we had fixed unlicensed wireless and fiber optic. Now we have some new things on the dash. So we have some wireless sites and some wireless APs, and we have a fiber route polygon. And then we also still, of course, have our broadband fabric and our FCC subscription file. So let's get into these. So for your wireless sites, we do have some uploaded here, but you can see the ones that are uploaded. What we do is we have a site template, and these are for your tower sites if you're doing wireless. And you can download this template from here. Obviously, I showed you earlier, you can get them from our main website as well. If you've already done those, great. If not, you could download the site template again. You'll see that it downloaded it. And then if you want to view the instructions from here, it will open the instructions in another window. So it will tell you what each of the columns mean and what you need to put in there. So easy enough. If you want to do a bulk upload, once you have completed that template, you just choose your file. So you will come in here and it forces you to a CSV. You would choose your file, open it up, and then once it's loaded here, this upload will show up and you can use it. So you would just upload the file and it would put these sites in for you. We're not going to do that right now just for time savings, but you get the idea. If you want to look at one of these or edit one of these, you can look at the site. It will show you the basic information. And if you have APs uploaded, which we do already, most of the time after you first upload the sites, you won't see these APs because there won't be any in. But if you do have APs attached to this, it will show you them here. And if you want to edit one of those, you can edit it directly from here. If not, you can come back, or you can actually add an AP to this site from here. But there's also an AP section where we're going to show you that next. So we'll go ahead and cancel this. You can add an additional site from here. Again, it just brings up the form. It's blank. And, you can add your information here if you want to do them manually, or you forgot one, or even if you want to just put them in manually, you can do that as well. I don't recommend it. If you have a lot of sites, the template is much faster. So that's the site. We will quickly go into the APs. So the same thing for the APs, very similar. We have a table. Obviously, we've already uploaded some here. But again, you can do the bulk upload from the template files and upload your APs. And again, if you want to add an AP, you can add an AP from here. It has all the data. Obviously, there's quite a bit more data to add to the APs, and all that is described in the template instructions if you want to know what all of those are. So back to our APs. Let's see. So here we are. So at this table, if you want to edit one, you can edit one. And if you want to export, obviously I didn't tell you on the sites too, but you can export this data as well. We'll export it to a CSV file for you. So on both of these pages, you'll notice there's a checkbox at the top that says check here if you have entered all your APs. Same thing on sites. If you check this box, great. You've entered all your APs, or you've entered all your sites, and that lets us know you're done entering sites. So if you go back to the dashboard and you see wireless sites, wireless APs here, if we look at these and we check this box and we say we're complete, awesome. Here we are at the dashboard again, and you'll notice now this has changed to a green checkbox. So that means you're done. Same thing for wireless APs. If we check this box, fantastic. Okay, so we go back to our dashboard, and now we're done with APs. So moving on, we have our fiber route or polygon. So what we do here, if you have a wireline polygon or route upload, if you've indicated that you provided service over fiber, coax, or DSL or other wireline, basically this will enable this section. And so all you have to do is add your fiber polygon. You're going to select your carrier right now because that's the only one you've selected in your filer data. It's the only one available. You do have to describe your maximum download and upload speeds for this particular polygon. If you have multiple areas where you provide different upload and download speeds as your maximums, then you need to upload a polygon for each area. So it's because we have to basically tell the FCC what addresses we service and the maximum speeds. And so if you have multiple polygons with different speed levels, you need to do one for each one. If you service a max the same everywhere, great, it's just one polygon. But anyway, you would put in your maximum here and your maximum upload here. And then again, you would choose your file. This is going to allow you to choose basically, anything, but we do want you to put in either a KML or a shapefile or a GeoJSON file. Those are the only files that we can actually work with, or they're the best formats to work with, and we don't really want to mess with anything else. So effectively, that's what you would do. You can see there's one in here already, a KML, and we've put one in. So I won't waste time uploading the files. So again, if we come back, we can see other data here. There's one more thing in their network settings that I forgot to mention under clutter. You do need to set up your clutter profiles. And so what this is for is we're going to be doing some propagation studies to address locations for you. And we need to know what the clutter elevations are. Most clutter data does not contain elevations. It basically contains categories. And then you have to describe what the elevations are for each one. So if you want to create a new profile, you would just create a new profile. And you won't have one in here when you first start. So basically it will be blank, and you just create new profile. You enter a name for this profile. So if you have multiple profiles, you can put in different ones, and then we can assign those to the APs if you have multiples. Anyway, all the values are in feet, and of course you would just come in and put in your elevations in feet for each category here. And if you have questions about this, please reach out to us. I know these categories seem a little odd, but this is kind of the basic clutter category classification from the NLCD data. And so once you put them in, it will show up in this dropdown. And if you need more information about this, again, you can click the info button. It tells you a little bit more about that, or just hover over this. It will tell you a little bit more about that. So getting back to the dashboard, we have broadband fabric files. Oh, sorry, I'm going to go back one more time. Once you've added your fiber polygon, if you're doing fiber or DSL or cable or whatever, just check the box again when you're done uploading all your polygons. And then once again, you'll get back to your dashboard and you'll have the fiber route complete. Again, here's another section. Here's your data file uploads for the FCC. If you're doing your 477 with us, We do need your subscription data, and we are going to kind of sanitize this for you. We find that a lot of times in this subscription file that they use your provisioning speeds and not really what you're selling. And sometimes those come through with decimal points and all kinds of things on them. The FCC doesn't like that. If they don't, they'll kick it back, or it won't upload correctly if it has decimals and anything over, I think it's 2 megabits per second. So basically, we have an algorithm that goes through and looks at that and kind of sanitizes that file for you. It will normalize everything to an integer, and then basically look for duplicates at that point. So in case you had some that were similar, like you had something provisioned at 5.5 and you had another one that was 5.8, those probably will both get truncated to 5. And then you might potentially have a conflict with another tract that also had the same speed. So we look for duplicates and combine those together in that case. And so we do a little sanitization on your subscription data to make sure it's going to upload nicely. And once you've uploaded that, it's the same process. We don't need to really go through that again, but you upload that CSV to us, and then you just check this box when you're done. And again, here's your broadband fabric files. So these are the files that you're going to get. They should either email you a link to download that file, or they may email you the file directly. Just depends on how big the files are, I think. But once you've signed up for the broadband fabric thing at CostQuest, you'll have access to those. So you get those, and then you bring them here and you upload them to us. Again, same thing. And then once we're done with this, and we have your data ready, you can actually export that yourself if you want. You can download the result files and keep them for your records or something like that. So anyway, again, once you've uploaded your files, you can check this box and let us know you're done. And then you come back to the dashboard and voila, you're all done here. Now it's just up to us to do the processing. Just FYI, some of these files are rather large for the broadband fabric. It does take some time to upload them. We actually put them in a spatial database, and that actually takes even longer. We upload the file first, and then we have a job that runs in the background to actually insert them into the database. So it does take some time because some of these have literally hundreds of thousands of points. And so it takes a little bit of time to get them all loaded into the spatial database. So, but once your files are all done and you get all the checkboxes, we will begin the processing, and that will take probably a few days from the time that you finished, and then we will notify you that you're done, and then we will proceed with the filing once we have our PE look over that. So the PE will review the files and give us his stamp. If there's any issues that he finds, he's going to let us know. All that happens in the background. You really aren't involved much unless we have some serious problems with your data, and then we'll notify you of that as well. So the other thing that we have to show you, I mean, there's basically just your company info. If anything changes, you come in here. We are going to be adding your user profile section here and some other things. We just needed to get this site out so that you could start uploading your data. And so you may see a few little changes here and there as you use the program, but nothing major. It should all work. Also, once you do have your sites and APs in, we do have a map here, so you can kind of look and verify your coverage. Basically, it's just going to show you your towers and APs, and it's going to show you all your data about those. We'll be adding a few layers to this map as we go as well. We'll be showing you kind of how we use these to create a clipping boundary against the address data. And then eventually we're going to show you all the addresses that you can service in here as well. So be looking for changes on the map, especially after your data is processed. So that is a quick run through. If you have any questions, of course, please reach out to us, and we will be happy to help you in any way we can.